Why, hello. I'm doing a review of John Wick. Recently, they just had a pre-screening in my town. Was a great movie. I freaking loved it. The whole theater was packed. I don't do pre-screenings too often. Maybe a few in the past decade. Pretty much it was an interesting experience. They had a metal detector out and they were checking people for cell phones for making sure they didn't record their shows. I have a cheap sliding phone, and they even made sure I had to take care of that because it was a slider. But I'll get to the movie. It's really interesting to see Keanu Reeves' progress. He basically starts off as mellow surfer dude, and everyone always makes fun of him about, "What's up, man? Yo, far out, But now he's just like this badass mother, I almost would think back to one of his more famous roles of like Neo in The Matrix. Everyone loved that movie, but the concept is better than John Wick, I guess, overall. But his character in John Wick was way deeper than Neo before and after The Matrix. Just you could see it in his emotions every time he would do something. You could see how stressed and angry he was. You could tell he had a love. Just the fact that he lost it, he was doing so much. He tried passing it on, and it couldn't be passed on. It couldn't be stopped. It was just really, he just gave a really passionate role, and you could see it every time he shot a gun, every time he broke someone's arm. It was really cool. And now he's just, like I said, it's just cool to see him. Like, now he's just at this ultimate badass role, and I really hope they continue this series. John Wick was super cool. One of the things I loved about this movie was the depth they put into it. A lot of the revenge movies, they have you assume there's a code, they have you assume there's a payoff, but they don't really give you a story to it. And here there's some sort of assumption. Like, the story wasn't fantastic, but the way the director put stuff together, it had you thinking the whole time what could happen next. Is this person betraying this person? It was really cool. There was almost an assassin's code. Partway through the movie, they had this Continental Hotel where the assassins would hang out when they're doing their jobs. It was a really cool atmosphere. Just because I don't know, I feel like you wouldn't think of that for an assassins. They'd have this code, they have an honor about each other. But here Keanu Reeves, he goes around paying people these gold coins, which is really cool. And you take a gold, I guess it seemed to me like there was a gold coin per job, which, counting as many gold coins as Keanu Reeves had, it made it really scary. It wasn't really your typical revenge movie. I guess I can't give too much about that till the end when I get to the spoilers. But he wasn't exactly getting revenge for someone. Like I said, the cast is great. They had Theon Greyjoy from Game of Thrones, which I seen a glimpse of in the commercials. In the movie, he had a pretty bigger role than I thought he had in the commercials. I thought he would be just a substitute, and they're just flashing to get like whatever fans of Game of Thrones are on. William Dafoe was in it too. Kevin Nash, the wrestler, was in it, but he was only in it for a few seconds. And just you'll see other faces who are basically in all these gangster movies all the time. The movie kind of started off slow. I was getting really scared at first. I was like, oh, this is kind of taking itself too seriously, until the first house invasion. They had this awesome house invasion. They try to have this shut down Keanu Reeves, and I've never seen anyone shut down people so cool in my life. He was basically, they used the kind of the Dark Knight fighting system where it was close combat, quick snapping, except the fact that he could do Keanu Reeves had headshots. He would do these cool close combats, and then close combat, bam, and he would just get these stellar headshots. Like, they weren't they almost make me think of Walking Dead, the way the headshots were so perfect, but he wasn't like he had to be 200 feet away. He was getting them like when he was 2 feet away, and it just showed how good he was. And there are a lot of kick-ass guns in this movie too. A lot of guns I haven't seen before. I'm a big fan of the shotgun when it comes to video games. And he had this thing that looked like a freaking just this monster machine gun, but he would pump it and it's a shotgun. Could almost take out a car. It was just like a lot of cool guns. Keanu Reeves is just a martial artist. He showed you why he was the king assassin that everyone gets scared of, known as John Wick. But the other cool thing was, one thing that they didn't do, they didn't go Legolas with him either. They didn't make him perfect in every single fight scene. They didn't make it where he'd kick out 20 guys and be like, whatever, man, whatever, bro, it's cool. No, he he would fight up these guys, and then he would struggle, and that would, you know, it would build up in these fights. So it was cool that he wasn't invincible. I love that about the movie. I hate when characters are, they're like, they don't have any redeeming qualities, and they're, you know, black and white. And this wasn't black and white. His fighting style was like, you know, he wasn't perfect. And some of the characters pointed it out to him that they're like, oh, I guess you're rusty, because he has like a little nick on his face while he just killed 20 guys, and like, oh, I guess I'm a little rusty. And he's like, what? You're not rusty, you just killed, you know. Great stuff. Really love the set designs. A lot of thought was put in a lot of stuff. I'm a horrible person when it comes to cars, but I know a kick-ass car when I see them, and they had like 20 of them in this movie. Just kick-ass cars. Really sleek interior design. Everything was, I don't know, modernism, I guess is the best way to put it. Even in Keanu Reeves' home, in the Russian gangsters' homes who he's fighting. And then they had this club called the Red Circle. That place was probably one of my favorite scenes of all, because, you know, he was taking everyone out while they were dancing. They had a sauna in the basement of the Red Circle. So not only is there a club on top, but there's a sauna below. And I guess, you know, basic mafia, they can pay for whatever they want. But that's what they had. Towards the end of the movie, lightning was hitting when they're building to the final fight scene, and the lightning was so cool because it would crack, and then you'd feel everything rumble. They just would emphasize on the lightning, and it just build it up. Like, usually, you know, it feels like when filmmakers use lightning, they're kind of scared of it. Like, they're like, you know, they use it as background. Ooh, lightning. But this one, like, it was a realistic fight. There weren't no monsters or anything like that, but still the lightning rumbled the audience. It was so cool. The music was awesome. I caught myself during the Red Circle fight scene. I was almost like jamming to the music, you know, it's just club music. I don't even like clubbing that much either, but I was just, you know, yeah, kick their ass, yeah, kick their ass. It was really cool. And then I kind of got surprised. I don't know why. Usually, to me, it feels like metal music is kind of like facade now. They only use it in these really stylized movies that are only meant for a niche crowd. And I think this is going to hit everybody. But Marilyn Manson, I guess he has new soundtracks in it, and it was just awesome. It just hits you this way. You feel, you know, bad enough that Keanu Reeves is giving you this awesome performance, or you're feeling just so horrible for what he's gone through. But Marilyn Manson's music, it somehow meshes really well in this, and they have soft music during some of the fight scenes, and then Manson music just pulls you into the world that they created for this movie. The ratings, I love it. I would recommend everyone go and see it. I would give it an A-. Only reason I wouldn't give it like an A is just like the story isn't, like, you know, deep. It pulls you in, you keep guessing, but it is a great story. The filmmakers did a great job. I was guessing the whole time, but in the end I kind of figured it was a lot more simpler. But Keanu Reeves is great. Just everyone supporting him does great, but, you know, Keanu Reeves is the lead role, and every punch he does and every shotgun blast he goes, you could see the emotion, the pain he's going through, but at the same time, he has a redeeming factor. All right, I don't know. I guess I'm gonna go into some spoilers. So if you want to hear spoilers until the movie, because I think it's coming out not this Friday but next Friday, so just turn off the video now. Otherwise, I'm gonna talk spoilers. Theon Greyjoy was in this movie, and he pretty much plays like the exact same character he does in Game of Thrones. He's this pathetic piece of shit who always hits on these chicks, but he has no right to earn these chicks. And he's trying to earn his father's blessing, and so he does his dumbest shit that pisses Keanu Reeves off, and starts this whole revenge on the Russian mafia that they're in. And I just like, it's fucking Theon Greyjoy being Theon Greyjoy, but current Theon Greyjoy, not Game of Thrones Theon Greyjoy. But yeah, he's playing a pathetic piece of crap, and he didn't get his wiener cut off, but he got his head, you know, blasted off. So he had that coming. Kevin Nash was this is a wrestling fan thing, but Kevin Nash was in it, and it was so cool seeing Kevin Nash play a Russian, because I thought back to the Punisher. I was like, yeah, the Punisher's back. Kevin Nash playing the Russian again, but he didn't fight at all. You know, that's another thing I want to get into is they had this Assassin's Code that was really cool. That at the Continental was the hotel they went to. Whenever they, you know, no one could fight the Continental. This is where they set up their meets. This is where the assassins can like hang out once they're done with their killings. And that was just another level I wouldn't even think about. You know, like Keanu Reeves is an assassin, he doesn't need any help, but why would he but the hotel makes sense, you know. They put a little depth into it, you know. Of course he can't do it by himself, and like, but that was the only support he got too. He pretty much kicked everyone's butt. The one thing the one thing I did like about the whole push for the movie was that Keanu Reeves, John Wick, left the Russian mafia, left this assassin role so he can help his wife, because she was dealing with cancer, and she died of cancer. It was no one's fault. The Russian mafia gave him this impossible mission. They said, you can only leave us if you kill, I don't know, something. They said something that if it wasn't for John Wick's murder spree, then they wouldn't be surviving as long as they are. So I guess that's just what makes him a monster in this movie. But the point I was trying to make is that there was no one's fault that she died, that John Wick's wife died. So that's not why he was going on his killing spree. Why he was going on his killing spree is because after she died, she found a way to send him a puppy. And I guess Theon Greyjoy, I'm just going to keep on calling that because I don't know what his name is in the movie, just Russian prince, I guess, whatever. Theon Greyjoy wants to steal John Wick's kick-ass car, a Mustang, I think. And in the process, he does that, he steals a Mustang, and he kills the dog, he kills the puppy, and yeah, so you don't kill John Wick's ex-girlfriend's puppy, because that's, you know, they kept on making it as a joke, too. They go, you know, it's just a fucking dog, and then fucking, you don't touch anything to John Wick, he's just so badass. Let me think there's any spoilers. Oh, Willem Dafoe's character, he's a fellow assassin, which is really cool. I get excited anytime I see Willem Dafoe, because I think, for those that know him, they rate him appropriately, but not a lot of people know him, so I kind of think he's underrated. Willem Dafoe was kind of pushed as a assassin, almost up to John's code, up to his quality, and so they almost look like they're balanced. Except John kind of got ahead of him because he got out of the business, and so when the Russian guy hires Willem Dafoe, you're like, oh, we're gonna see a giant face down. And then throughout the movie, Willem Dafoe kind of keeps saving him. But my guess was, like I said, this is more the filmmakers, because if you were just like looking at the story, you'd go, oh, of course he's saving him to help him. They're best friends the whole time. I didn't know that. I thought Willem Dafoe was, because Willem Dafoe was being a sniper through the movie, and anytime John Wick was in danger, snipe, and then somehow the gunshot would save John Wick. And I just thought he was doing that to say, you can't kill him. I want the money. And then but I guess they're best friends at the end, like I said. But I like that element because Willem Dafoe is such a great actor, so you kind of got into that. Anything else? No, just a fantastic movie. Make sure you see it. Keanu Reeves destroys it. His acting is one of the best I've ever seen in any of his movies. Like I said, I even compare it to Neo and Matrix, because sure, the concept of aliens taking the world or something is great. You know, aliens faking our world being controlled by computers is great. But he was just, whatever, okay, I'm lame. And then he learns Matrix and I can do all this now. And but when you see him do these moves, you understand. He's pissed off, he's passionate, he's loveful. It's great. And my favorite fight scene in the movie was at the Red Circle. Like I said, excellent design. And then just the fight scenes, because they start in the locker room, kill those guys, go in the sauna. Theon Greyjoy escapes, and then he goes in the club. Fucking everything is just falling apart while people are dancing. He's breaking bones, and it's an epic movie. I recommend seeing it. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.